everybody. Because there were quite a few issues with the first JavaScript lab, I just wanted to go over kind of what I was looking for so that moving forward with the second lab, you'll have a good idea. Overall, everyone I think did better than maybe they thought they did, but there were a couple of questions that stumped people, and that tended to be question number 7 and question number 8. But what I was looking for with each question, so question 1, I wanted to see that you could use document write to do a math function. So 12 times 6 is equal to 12 times 6. With question number 2, I wanted to see that you could successfully create a variable and then display that variable's contents using document write. With question number 3, I was looking for you to create another variable that was the average. So you're doing a math function inside of your variable and then displaying the average of the test scores, which I believe is 89.25. In question number 4, I wanted to see that you could handle using comparative operators to show whether or not something is true or false. So you're evaluating these statements using Boolean operators. With number 5, you're creating an alert window, which should have been fairly straightforward if you watched the lectures. With number 6, similarly, you're doing a window prompt where you would enter in your name, and then in response to that, you would get a document write. With number 7, what I wanted you to do was use this variable x is equal to date and then do something with it. So by creating the paragraph ID of time, you're able to get the element ID time and then use this inner HTML in order to display the value of variable x, which is today's date. And then with question 8, there were a couple different ways to do this. The way that I was thinking about it was by treating each question as a class question, and then taking the position of those items in our variable array, and then getting the element by class name and changing the font color that way. Just to show you an example of what some other folks did to answer this question. Some folks set a font color to blue. They also did get the element by class name for lab, and then they used this for loop in order to set that up, which is more what we'll be focusing on in the second week of JavaScript, but it's certainly a way to satisfy the requirements for answering this question. So that was it for the lab. And let me just open up. Oh, here we go. I have the lab open. So here's our lab. So I hate alert windows because I do hate alert windows. Then you enter in your name. And then as you can see, all of the question text has turned purple because each question was labeled the question class, and then I applied style to any element in my HTML that had that particular class assigned to it. Question 5 didn't do that just because it was our alert window. And number 7 didn't do that because it's a JavaScript function, so it's going to just display the results of that function. So please let me know if you have questions about this. Don't get hung up on it too much. If you want to redo the lab, you can. I was pretty lenient in terms of grading, just knowing that this is something that we're kind of learning from, but it's not, it's not the end goal of our class, right? So don't worry about it too much. It is just one lab. But as always, please let me know if you have questions.